This is how YouTube has changed my life, and I barely have 5k subscribers. So what I'm going to talk about today is the details, why I feel like it's changed my life, and talk about my channel a bit and why it's taken a bit of a U-turn towards my golf game and my golf journey. Now, before we get into it, I do feel like it's really important that we talk about where my content creator journey started. So let's delve into it. So back in 2020, I finished playing rugby. Basically, too many injuries, and it wasn't really going to the place I wanted to go. So then I was stuck in a bit of a predicament where I was like, what do I actually want to do in my life? You know, how am I going to build a life for myself? I came to base the decision I wanted to become a personal trainer. You know, with the amount of people that I felt like didn't know what they were talking about, I really felt I kind of did. And from my experience from training people and playing rugby, I could really have an impact on people. But I also knew that I needed to post content. I really needed to build a brand. And that's when it all started. And I decided to kit out my parents' double garage. And this is when I was then training people one-to-one. I was then building up my knowledge as a coach. And I was creating my first ever content.
Feet hip width, placed under the bar so you can't see your shoelaces.
Struggling with your grip strength for your deadlift or your dead hangs. We're then going to retract our scapula, having our lower back slightly off the bench, increasing the height of our rib cage.
So then in my first year, I actually barely grew on Instagram. I was posting videos just for the sake of it. Like, I was like repetition. After a year, I posted on TikTok as well, as I was noticing people were growing on there. But then 2 years into my content creating journey, I created my first ever Don't Be a Dick video.
How to not be a dick with your deadlift.
How not to be a loser with your lateral raise. Don't be a dick and do your RDL. Does your deadlift look like this?
Which soon became my brand, you know, very much became the content that I was known for. In the next year or 2 years, I went from 4,000 followers on Instagram to 120k, 10k on TikTok, I think, and then grew to 360 now. So it really did build up and built me to a place now where I have an online coaching business where I train people all over the world, and I could go all over the world if I'd want to. But let's really get down to the point of this video. Why am I now focusing on YouTube? Short form versus long form. Short form over the last few years has really taken a big turn. TikTok changed the game. It made everything short and sharp. It made it more addictive. And part of that I've definitely profited of. I've adjusted my content to it. And as I said, it's helped me run my life. It's helped me run my business, my company for the last 4 years. I mean, I can't, knock it too much, but at the same time, it's definitely moved in a direction that I don't enjoy as much. I feel like now more than ever, followers don't mean anything. The fact that your followers or your subscribers, especially on TikTok and Instagram, see your content less, it's less likely to have a loyal audience. It's harder to have a loyal audience. I feel like people genuinely just go on there to shout stupid things because they know it's going to get views. And I have to say, it kind of fucking annoys me. I feel like people who are genuinely trying to help people out and people who want to get a good message across are having to try more than ever, where people who just care more about the amount of money they make are easily beating them. And so with YouTube and long form content, I feel like there's more context. I feel like you have a chance to talk to your audience more. I feel like you've got more chance of your followers or subscribers each week tuning into your video and really building more loyalty with your brand, really building more of a relationship with your followers. And I think at the moment with short form, that's what's really lacking. Connected with that, long form, there's far less pressure. To really grow on TikTok or Instagram, you need to post every day. And that's a high frequency to produce quality content. It also means there's less time to put into your video ideas, there's less time to put into your video production, there's less time to just think about any of it. So I feel like long form is really gonna allow me to delve into the details a bit more, focus more on the creation, the ideas, what I can bring to my audience, and more importantly, increase the enjoyment for myself. Like, I believe that all of the best work we ever do is the work that we enjoy. And I feel like with short form nowadays, there is so much pressure on trying to constantly post, constantly keep up with it, constantly move with trends, constantly keep going, that I feel like it takes away the fun, that enjoyment of actually creating something and then showing it to people, showing it to the world. At the moment, I feel so much less pressured to create content and so much more in the moment and present to actually enjoy what's going on. You know, because to build a good YouTube channel at the moment, I'm focusing on just posting once a week. I think that fits well within my life. And I know that by doing that, I can get a good balance between quantity and quality, where I really do feel like short form has massively moved into that quantity over quality. Now, the other thing I'd also say I really like about long form content versus short form is short form just has a very short shelf life. Like it's in the name, short, okay? If you post a video on TikTok, Instagram, the way that algorithm works, it's probably dead after a few days, right? It's not gonna change. No one's gonna be watching that video in 5 years' time. Never. But on YouTube, it's like a search engine. If you post a video now and in 5 years' time, that idea, that subject trends, it's gonna still get views in 5 years' time. Why would you wanna create content that people are almost not gonna see in 3 days? Like, you're gonna have to do it again in a few weeks because the message has already gone into the fucking grave. And this kind of moves me on to the next part when we talk about monetization, because a lot of the reasons a lot of people move over to YouTube in comparison to social media is monetization. And as a creator, you do not get paid that well from social media. For your videos specifically, you can get brand deals, which I've never really been a big fan of. You know, we've been in the fitness industry where people just make up shit to sell shit. You want integrity. You don't want to look like that person that would sell their soul for a buck, because when people then ask for your honest, opinion, it might be, it can be a bit swayed by money. So for me, I've never really done a lot of paid posts and haven't worked with a massive amount of brands because I've always liked my word to be my word. The other way is you build services and products off your content, which is exactly how I've earned money over the last 4 years. I post content, people then show interest in my online coaching, I then speak to them, I then get them on my service. And then I just help people get fit and the ball rolls, okay? But you don't actually get paid anything for that content creation. You don't get paid anything. I mean, on TikTok nowadays, they're paying a little bit for people who post over a minute, but it's still, in comparison to YouTube, very little. 1 million views on TikTok, 100, 200 quid. YouTube, 2 grand. That's a big difference. So there is a big monetary aspect. I'm not gonna bullshit you like, no, the money means nothing. Of course it does, it helps. It massively helps in putting more energy. It massively means that I don't have to work and put my time and energy into other things that earn me money. I can just focus more on the content creation. I also feel like social media and creating content for my business has always been a bit of a weird subject for me. I actually don't like social media that much. I think it's quite pretentious. I think it's quite self-indulgent. Hey guys, welcome to my fitness channel. This is a bit weird because I don't really talk to phones more often, but I'm probably going to be doing it a lot more from now on. Before I started posting and creating content, I had 6 Instagram photos. I barely posted. I was barely on it. People then look at me and go, well, you're a bit of a hypocrite. Like, you're on social media all the time. Yes, I am, but I feel like there's a big difference between posting pictures just for the sake of getting likes off random people, as opposed to putting informational content out there or building a brand that's going to help you live the life you want and giving some good value back in return. The fact that I feel like social media is the way it is and that YouTube, I feel, is far more positive in comparison to social media is another reason I want to go down that route. I mean, if you go on social media for 2 hours, right? Chances are, you flick through TikTok, flick through Instagram, whatever it is. Chances are you're coming away feeling like shit about yourself. You're going to be sitting there like, my life's crap. these people are way better looking than me. Like, they've got way more than me. They're traveling the world. I'm fucking not. My life's shit. Where YouTube, if you spent 2 hours on YouTube, chances are you've probably learned something, okay? It's that engaging that you actually can't multitask. You can't be listening to someone on YouTube or watching something in, you know, detail and actually doing other things. It's not distracting you. It's actually something you are paying attention to. And I feel like now our attention is one of the greatest currencies we have. And it's probably more under threat than ever because of social media. But finally, why golf? Why someone who's put 4 to 5 years in creating fitness content, do you want to go take a bit of a U-turn? Because I'm passionate about it, man. I love it. I enjoy it. I feel like with my golf journey, I'm on a journey. I feel like I've got something massively to work towards. And if I can create good videos while doing that, build a bit of a channel with that, and give value to people with that, then that's exactly what I want to do. I feel like with fitness, I've been training in a gym for over 12 years. I've trained CrossFit. I've obviously did it a lot with my rugby career. I've done bodybuilding. I've tried all the diets in the world. I've trained countless people, you know, hundreds, if not probably thousands at this point. But now fitness for me is just part of my life. I will always love it. I will always have a love for it, but it's part of my life. It's not something where I feel like I've got to go on a massive journey with, where golf for me is that. And I also think with golf being the way it is at the moment, that fitness is getting more important in golf. And I feel like there's so many people that don't realize how much your fitness can improve your golf game and how much, they both kind of actually touch on with each other quite well. And I always think that you should do work in line with your interests, because that means you're going to produce the best work. So that is why my YouTube channel has massively gone towards golf. And let's see where it goes. But look, destroy the fuck out of that like button. I hope you enjoyed that video, and whatever you do, don't be a dick. I just had to do that.